Module 6.4, Log Math. Rule 1, Multiplying. We're learning logarithms so we can change the exponential and large range of sound pressures that we hear to more manageable numbers that relate to the way that we hear. To do that, we need to know how to do log math. There are 4 basic rules, and as it turns out, you already know some of the rules and have been using them already in this course when we've been doing scientific notation. In these examples, I'll be using the rounded numbers that were in the chart from last module. So when you check these with the calculator, the answers will be close to the values that we end up with, but not exactly. But if your answers are close, then you know you've done the math correctly. So again, first remember that the log is the exponent of 10. So we have rule number 1, log of a times b equals log of a plus b. So what this means is to multiply numbers with exponents, we add the logs, or we add the exponents. So you should already know that if we have 10 to the 4th times 10 to the 3rd, that equals 10 to the 7th. You've done this already. You know that when we have numbers with exponents, we multiply them, we add the exponents. Now, since the log is the exponent of 10, the log of 10 to the 4th is 4. The log of 10 to the 3rd equals 3. The log of a times b is equal to the log of a plus the log of b, and that gives you 7, which is what we ended up with here. Here's another example. Let's find the log of 30. All right, so 30 equals 3 times 10. So we know from our table before that the log of 3 is 0.5, and the log of 10 is 1. So the log of 30 equals the log of 3 plus the log of 10 equals 0.5 plus 1 is 1.5. So again, when we do logs, when we are multiplying regular numbers, we're adding the logs. And what does this mean? This means that 10 to the 1.5 equals 30. If you check that with your calculator, you'll use the 10 to the x key and put in 1.5, and your answer with the calculator will be 31.6, which is close to 30. Again, we said we're using rounded numbers and they're approximations, so this is good. Let's do another. What's the log of 0.5? 0.5 is 5 times 10 to the minus first. So the log of 5 from the table is 0.7. The log of 10 to the minus 1, it's the exponent of 10, is minus 1. So equals the log of 5 plus the log of 10 to the minus 1 equals 0.7 minus 1 equals minus 0.3. So what does that mean? That means 10 to the minus 0.3 equals 0.5. If you check that with your calculator, you can do 10 to the x minus, make sure you use the minus sign that's in the parentheses when you're doing the exponents as opposed to the subtraction key when you're making it. So then what you're going to do is 10 to the x of minus 0.3. That should give you an answer of 0.501. So remember, when finding the log of numbers you're multiplying, you add the logs.